Okay, I'm right back with another video. And I got back from the grocery store, and it's 2:17. I had my lunch, and my battery is finally charged. So I decided to remake a video that I made this morning. It's basically featuring my hacks, which I will show you at the end of this video. But as I was thinking today, I was thinking about how, when you're a little kid, you say things like, sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. And I will say that, I'm sure I've been called a bunch of names throughout this entire process, but I don't internalize it. I really don't, because I know it's a bunch of bullshit. But I will say that names can hurt people financially. When you have rumors spreading around about a person, it can create problems for them, and that hurts them in other ways. And I'm not exactly sure why. Well, I do know why. I think the root of it is a lot of times, people become nosy, first of all. Instead of minding your own business, you want to kind of look at what other people are doing, and then you pick it apart because maybe you have no interest in certain things yourself, and therefore, you find it disagreeable because that's not your personal preference. First of all, I'd like to say that I have always had an interest in clothes. I do enjoy watching fashion shows. I do. Not because I follow fashion, and there's a difference between what I call following fashion and style, okay? And I personally think that if a person enjoys clothing, why not have your own personal style if that's what you enjoy doing? Fashion is something that comes and goes, like it might be popular for maybe a few months or maybe a year, and then the next thing you know, something else comes into fashion. Of course, just about every article of clothing has been rehashed or reinvented in some way. Like for back in the 90s, a lot of the 70s fashions were back in, like a lot of the peasant tops, a lot of the dresses. The only difference was that, like for example, some of the dresses, instead of being made of that thick, unbendable polyester, was actually more modified for like the current standard, or at that time anyway. So like a lot of the things that were made in polyester were made like in cotton or cotton poly blend. So yeah, I have an interest in clothes, and I always have. And so, you get a lot of people who think, well, you're just doing that because blah, 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 blah. No, I've had an interest in clothes for a very long time. One of the reasons, the only thing that really does make me watch TV, of course I don't watch TV now, but oftentimes, like if I was sitting back in my old house, I would be watching television, and what I would be watching it for a lot of times is to see what some of the female characters are wearing, and I would be making comments about their clothes. Yeah, I enjoy clothes. I do. I enjoy the accessories. I like, earrings. I'm not so much of a bangle and bracelet person. I have a few. Most of them have been gifted to me, but I'm more of a person who, I like clothes. I do. Okay? And it's for my own personal satisfaction. Doesn't mean anything. Now, like I said before, some of my videos, there's a difference between what is provocative and with somebody who just enjoys style. And I notice that there's a lot of different styles that are reflected in different people and in different individuals. You'll take some people who have like an interest in, I guess you'd call like a steampunk type thing. And of course, I'm not going to sit here and walk around town in those full type, the full type, outfits, okay? They might do that for like special occasions or whatever, but still, by looking at them, you could tell that there's something about them that you could tell that they like that sort of stuff, okay? It's a part of their personality, and that's reflecting their personal style, and there's nothing wrong with that. So you get a lot of people, with rumors and that sort of stuff, and the gossip, and to me, it's just stupid, okay? But no, I'm proud of who I am. I like the person that I am. And, sometimes, like, when I was working at a particular place, which I'm not going to go into, they were basically showing me some stuff from Hot Look, right? And, there's nothing wrong with some of the modern clothes that come out. And sometimes, a certain style might come back in fashion, wide circulation, and then if it's something that I like, then I'll get it. You know what I mean? But oftentimes people want to inflict or impose their personal styles and preferences onto you. And it's just not something that, believe me, if somebody shows me a fashion magazine, I'm definitely going to look at it, okay? I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to analyze it, and I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to, talk about what I like, whatever, and have a big discussion about it, because I enjoy that. I enjoy clothes. I do. I love them. Of course, I had to get rid of a bunch of them, because I can't fit everything into my closet here. But, I bought clothes brand new. I bought them used. I've made them myself. I've modified some used ones. Any type of garment that appeals to me at that time is what I'm going to go and grab for, And then also, a lot of people talk about, now I've been wearing makeup since I was 13 years old, since I was able to put it on, okay? And I look around town and I see a lot of women who wear makeup. And they do. And as long as it's within good taste, it's pretty standard. It is. Now, there are some people who, have certain guidelines, and they'll say something like, no excessive makeup. My makeup goes within the realm of what is considered to be moderate, or standard. Now, excessive makeup is when you have like a shitload of eyeshadow on, your eyeliner is stretched out to almost to your ears, okay? I see a lot of people walking around like that, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's their particular style. I do understand how it could be a problem, if it looks too, like more like a costume type thing, and then that becomes an issue, okay? So that's an option for women. Women have always had that option. That's just what people are. That's what they do, and it doesn't have any bearing on what a person does, and it's not a particular statement, unless, of course, like I said, you're the kind of woman who's basically worn jeans or sweatpants, which are, I would say, two of my least favorite garments to wear. I don't like wearing stretch pants. I don't like tennis shoes. I do wear jeans, but I'm not like a big jean person. But if you're one of those type women, and then all of a sudden you see somebody that you like, and then all of a sudden you're sitting here changing your whole thing, you're changing everything about you, then you might be out there trying to get a guy, okay? I'm not like this. I have been consistent my entire life. Now, I will say, when I was working at Murray Family Farms, that place was pretty goddamn dirty. So, every once in a while I would dress up, and then sometimes I would dress down, depending on how I felt, but there were days where it was just like, my God, why the hell should I do anything? So, I've always been into clothes, and ever since I was little, and then of course my mom picked out most of my clothes when I was a kid, but I always had my own personal preference, and when it got to the time where I was able to make my own choices, then my clothes were starting to reflect who I was. And this is who I am, and I'm proud of it. I'm not going to sit here and have people tell me that there's something wrong with me, because there's not. I think that I'm somebody who presents himself well. When it comes to the workplace, I try very hard not to reflect too much of my own personal style. Like, for example, when I go on job interviews or whatever, I usually kind of keep it standard. I wear like new clothes, meaning like clothes that are bought from the store. And I try to keep it pretty standard for office attire. But that's just who I am, and it bothers me, because women can be so picky, and they can be so, so catty, Their behavior to me is just, that's the kind of friendship I'm not looking for. I like women who are open and free and strong and, understand things, and can have certain conversations without trying to, like, interject, certain things that aren't there. And there's a lot of women who are like that, and it really does get on my nerves. But anyway, I'm going to go grab my hat so I can show you what I've been doing lately. I got my wind chimes are like blowing in the wind, and I can tell, you know, it's a beautiful autumn time right now. And anyway, so this is a hat that I pretty much wear if on the hot summer days, because it keeps the sun out of my eyes. And so I keep it here on the body double so that it could just be easy access for me. So this is just like a cheap little floppy hat, but it works, you know. I got this one a while ago, and I haven't worn it at all yet. And but I think it's going to be one of my favorites. It's blue, which is really pretty, and I like this right here, you know. And the reason why I'm starting to wear hats during this autumn season is because, you know, I've been wearing a lot of scarves around the house, around town. Like I'm trying to give my hair a break from all the heating tools, you know, because it creates more breakage on my hair. So wearing hats is definitely a great alternative. This is the one I'm wearing today. I'm going to put it on the body double. This right here. This is like a burgundy type color, and I fell in love with it when I first saw it. The only thing I don't like about it is that I was hoping it would have a bigger brim, like these two right here, but it's not bad. You know what I mean? Hopefully I'll be able to get another one, same color, but a little bit bigger with a brim. So anyway, this is my favorite sweater, and I'm going to be making some applique patches for it, something that looks more in the autumn season. I was thinking either flowers or acorns or something cute right here. Orange is a great color for me in the autumn time. Like, I'm not into bright oranges, but I like more the rust type orange colors, because it complements my complexion, okay? And so that is one of my favorite things to wear. Orange, rust orange, greens, like this color green here in the scarf right here, and then like maroon or burgundy colors are really pretty. And I actually like this color too. This is a nice one too. So anyway, I kind of dress up my body double depending on, you know, whatever project that I'm working on that relates to clothes. So I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to put on that sweater, because it's an old sweater, okay? And I don't throw shit away. I really don't. But once it becomes old or shabby or whatever, I usually try to reuse it, you know, in a different way. Like if it's got a hole or something, then I'm going to put like a patch on it, kind of like how I did the sweater. This was one of my favorite sweaters at one time. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but like I've worn this a few times, but I just basically put things on it. As you can tell, I've been very busy working on, I got polyfill all over the floor. This is my excess. Once I open or use some of the felt that I've used before, then I consider it used felt or scrap, so that I put it in this bag and I just kind of go through it when I need colors or small pieces or whatever. But I've been working on this particular project right now. This is going to be a picture for a little boy, and it's a dinosaur scene. So I have to stitch this right here. This is like the little volcano and I guess the crap coming up from it. And then I have to add a little bit more lava here on the very bottom. And then I was thinking about adding like a rhinoceros here in this spot because it looks kind of barren. But and this right here is just a pattern for it. I have to cut out the actual fabric for it. So like you can see on my little workstation here, it's pretty messy. And then I have I've been making like hair barrettes, you know, these right here, and this one right here, and this right here, which is cute. And then I also made this one too. This is not a hair barrette. This is just like a little wall hanging or whatever. Yeah, and I stuffed with the polyfill. You know, I was thinking about making a couple pillows or whatever. And so I bought all these little containers here so I can keep all my stuff in it. I get up at night sometimes and I just get like really stressed out. So I want to start a project and just kind of either paint or sew. Sometimes I get up in the middle of the night. I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm just going to grab up the sewing machine, start making projects or whatever. And it helps me relax. So anyway, this is the little picture I was working on before. I finished it. It's the Little Mermaid. A mermaid, not the mermaid like the Disney one, but you know what I'm talking about. So I just did this one in felt, and then I bought these pieces right here. They were at the dollar store, and I figured, well, I made this one right here. I made the little seahorse, but these right here were like little stickers, so I figure I'll use them. I use a lot of different things, you know, like sometimes I make my own and then sometimes I buy shapes or whatever if they're cheap, okay? I don't mind, you know, using stickers and different things, you know, in my art. It's fun. And then I got all these different paints, you know. I just recently got these at Walmart, and the paint, these were like under $1, okay? And I had to say I was a little hesitant, or reluctant, I should say, to buy them, because I kept thinking, what if the colors come out watery? Because I bought some paints that really weren't as vibrant in color as I thought they were going to be, but these actually came out pretty good. As a matter of fact, the mermaid picture was painted with this right here, and so it came out pretty good. And I've collected a few different paint colors for a while that I've got at Michael's or Joann's or whatever, and they, you know, they're a little bit more expensive at those stores, so I might be using Walmart more in the future when it comes to buying paints, because it's less expensive. So anyway, these are my hobbies. These are my it's who I am. You know, this is what I like. You know, I like clothes. I like accessorizing. I like anything that looks artistic. Now, just because I'm artistic to a certain degree doesn't mean that that's what I want to do. Okay, it's just a part of me. You know, it's who I am. You know, and like I said, what people do shouldn't generate gossip. Okay, people should take care and pride in themselves. Okay, that's just a basic. It's what you're supposed to do. Okay, you should always strive to be the best that you could possibly be. You know, and that's what people really want to do. And then oftentimes you get people who, why they perceive it in any other way is wrong. You know, now maybe like a woman, for example, who never took care of herself. I can't understand that mindset, because, you know, ever since I was a kid, I knew that, you know, that people who didn't take care of themselves were not really on the right track, because there's a lot of dissatisfaction in them. And me taking care of myself doesn't have anything to do with me being flirtatious or anything like that. It's a reflection of my hobbies and interests, period. That's exactly what it is, you know. I like a lot of retro styles. I like styles from like the 1920s. I wish I had more stuff that looked like that. You know, I certainly like the shoes from that time period. I love the hats as well. I like the 1940s type house dresses. I think they're so cute. As a matter of fact, I have some patterns, vintage patterns that I would like to be working on. You know, I just don't have the money for it right now. But I do. You know, I love clothes. I'm very passionate about clothes. As a matter of fact, I tried to get a job in the Los Angeles area when I was, my gang stalking was intensifying. And unfortunately, I wanted to work for a fashion company, not to work for the fashion part, but I wanted to work for a fashion company because it was an industry that interests me. And then I figured I could do the accounting work for them. But unfortunately, none of that happened. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll be back with another one later.